This is your workout A for weeks 1 and 2. We'll break this up into 3 separate circuits. In each of these circuits, you'll do twice through. Let's begin the first circuit with a perfect plank, finding our nice flat plank position, shoulders back, heels down, hips tight. Holding this firm position, you're going to take really big, deep, full breaths into your belly, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Really strong exhales and inhales without letting your back or hips sag or drop. We're doing about 5 to 6 full deep breaths here, really firm through the shoulders. From there, let's rotate onto a side plank. We can do these modified on your knees, or if that's on the easy side, we can do it out straight on your feet with your feet extended, feet stacked, hips straight. Make sure your hips are pressed forward. Your shoulders should be right above your elbow. Once again, in this position, you're doing 5 or 6 full deep breaths in through the nose, out firmly through the mouth. Make sure your hips are not sagging or dropping. Once you get those 5 or 6 deep breaths, let's rotate, go to the other side. Once again, you can do it modified if you need to, or all the way out straight. Hold again for 5 or 6 full deep breaths. Your hips should not be too high or too low. You should have a nice straight line from your head to your feet. Hold firmly, strong through the shoulder. Once those deep breaths are done, let's crawl onto your hands and knees. With shoulders right over your hands, tuck your toes. We're going to pick the knees up just a little bit and then send your hips really high up into a downward dog. And we're going to go back and forth between those two positions where your knees are close to touching but not quite touching. And then your hips are high for a nice full deep stretch down the back side of your leg. This is a bear crawl into a downward dog. We're doing 8 repetitions of this. Every rep should feel like you're able to go a little bit deeper. After 8, go ahead and set your knees down on the floor, and let's extend opposites. So your left leg extends back, your right arm extends straight forward. Hold steady. You can picture like you're trying to balance a cup of water on your back. We're going to do a 15-second hold on one side and then a 15-second hold on the other side, and we'll do that twice. So it'll be 4 holds total. That's the end of this circuit, and you'll go back to the beginning and do the planks again. Now our next circuit is going to begin with goblet squats. Take a nice heavy goblet, hold it at your chest, make sure that the dumbbell is touching your chest. Sit down into a really good squat. We're going to do 12 squats here. Sitting down, keep your hips out really far behind you and your knees open. It should feel like the weight of your legs are along the outside edges of your feet. Really good posture here. From here, you can use a box, a bench, or even a chair. Booty is out behind you, back is nice and straight. We're going to draw your elbow up behind you, squeezing your shoulder blade back across your back as you pull back into a row. We're going to do 8 reps on the right hand and then transfer it to the left side, 8 on the other. Your back should be neutral here, not rounded or arched. Keep your chin tucked and support your low back with your abs from the front. From there, we're going to find a staggered stance, which just looks like a little bit of a lunge. Locking into that lunge position, strong core, let's push the dumbbell overhead. Make sure when you push overhead that you're not arching your back. Your glutes should be nice and tight. We're going to push 8 times on one side, and then we'll do 8 times on the other side. So if your right leg is forward, you're pushing up with the left arm. With this exercise, you might need to use a little bit lighter weight. Just going overhead is always really challenging. So that's your second circuit there. That circuit, you'll do it twice through before you begin this next group. And this is your third and final circuit. Let's find that goblet hold again with the weight right at your chest. Feet are planted wide, and we're sitting down into what we call a side split squat. So you're sitting really far down and back, pushing your hips really far back behind you. All the weight is going to the outside edge of that right foot here. And we're going to do 8 reps to the right side and then switch sides and do 8 to the left here. Your feet should be perfectly parallel. Don't turn your toes out. Keep your heels even just slightly wider than your toes, and that's going to help your technique even more. Nice and tall with your posture. From there, we're going to do regular push-ups. Now, if you're not able to do push-ups on the floor, do them elevated, and that's going to be the same all the way through this 6 weeks. So if you feel like you aren't strong enough to do push-ups on the floor, you can put your hands on a bench or a couch, something elevated. But if those are easy, go ahead and do them down on the floor. Either way, we're going to do 8 push-ups. It should feel like your elbows are back at a 45-degree angle. Just consider your push-ups a moving plank. Make sure your body's nice and flat and strong. After your 8 push-ups, we're going to do seal jacks, which look like a jumping jack, but your arms are wide and horizontal. Let's go 20 of these, and that's the end of this 3rd circuit. You're going to go back and do it one more time through, and then that's the end of workout A. Great job.